I'm going to show you guys how to create a 6-figure content strategy in the next 30 minutes. This is my internal process on my agency where we've helped over 380 different agency owners master the art of generating leads from their own personal brand. This 18-step formula, I will be walking you through and creating this content strategy with you guys live today on this Miro board with this pen right here. So with that being said, let's go ahead and kick this off. So what you guys see right now is me playing with the tablet on the right-hand side. I'm going to be explaining every single content from the left-hand screen. So you guys should be taking notes as well too. This is a no fluff video. I'm going to be actually making a content strategy live for you all using my agency offer. So you guys can go ahead and duplicate this for your guys' own agencies as well too. So these 18 steps over here, we're going to go from the complete basics all the way into understanding exactly what you need to be posting on the specific social media platforms I'm going to recommend based off of your specific follower range. This is exactly how we onboard people onto our agency right now. Let's go ahead and kick this off. Step number 1 is to understand our entire agency offer. The agency offer is based off of our overall outcome. So you might understand your agency offer, but people on social media right now do not. And you cannot just post content around your specific offer. I offer content creation. I offer ghostwriting. I offer strategy. People do not care for that. People care for the value that you're providing to them that can put more money inside of their pockets. So you have to remember that outcome that you're selling is what your content needs to be surrounding. If you do not understand what the outcome is, then you're just going to look like another salesy account. Your objective is to create a content strategy surrounding this specific content, and I'll teach you how to do that. That outcome is exactly what you're going to be pushing online. It's going to help you determine the main topics and the subtopics for your account, because our account is going to be very simple. There are going to be 4 main content pillars. Those content pillars are all based off of our overall outcome. And then when we understand our pillars, there's going to be content perspectives. The way we want to present the content to our audience. It can be opinions, it can be technical, it can be authorities. It doesn't matter what the style is. We need to understand the outcome because that is the king of our entire content strategy. Now, we have to understand before we can create the content strategy, what social media platforms are we going to be working on? So we start off with X. X for the simple reason X is going to be the most potent audience base you'll ever have. Every single agency owner that is targeting e-com brands or SaaSes need to be on X and need to understand that their perfect prospect is on these platforms. Their entire content strategy, their entire personal brand is going to be built on top of their X account. All of your future traffic methods from your paid ads and your cold emails as well too will be based off of your winning content from your X account, and I'll be explaining that later in this video as well too. So I consider X to be the nucleus platform. So why do I call X the most important platform? Why is it this nucleus? Because every other social media and every other acquisition source will ever be doing is going to be based off of the X account. It doesn't matter if it's going to be your paid side or your cold side or your personal brands, emails, your LinkedIn or YouTube. Everything stems from the specific X account. All the content that we're going to be producing, from the value tweets to the long forms to the threads, are all going to be repurposed for our emails, for our YouTube, and for our LinkedIn. We're going to be building something I like to call the micro authority ecosystem. What is the micro authority ecosystem? It is mastering one main platform, growing a few thousand followers there, adding 6 figures in revenue just from your X account, then repurposing that content onto LinkedIn, recording the long forms that we're making into YouTube videos, and expanding on those long forms into an email. This is something very similar to what Alex Hormozi does, except you're not going to be spending $75,000 a month to make this happen. You're just going to be spending 1 hour on a daily basis to make sure that you can produce the content across all of these social media platforms. Step number 2 is figuring out the competition in the space. This is extremely important because what you think is important right now to produce content around is not actually what your audience wants. The markets have sophisticated and they're constantly going to be sophisticating. The best way to understand what is working in the market is by finding 3 to 5 main profiles who are absolutely killing it within your space. For example, with my agency on our offer, I am doing personal branding. I'm helping people build their online presence into an authority. I'm going to find 5 Twitter accounts. And my objective is to filter on their account based off their top performing content and their least performing content. I have a software to do this. You guys can also just go straight into X, aka Twitter, and you guys are going to go into the search bar, click on advanced search settings, and then you can filter. And now we can find their top performing content. What is winning for them? What topics? What keywords are winning? We take those winning concepts, and our objective is super simple. It is to build a content strategy around those winners as well as our experiences and our stories. So there's so many people pushing the same offer as you. There's nothing that really makes you stand out. They're probably ahead of you in terms of organic leads, but that's fine. The way we're going to lap them is by understanding exactly what content works for them and using those as our baseline for our content strategy where we can start building on top of. So once we create a list of the competitors, we're going to explore their follower lists. We're going to identify current trends on their winning content, and we're going to avoid all the outdated ideas. I'm talking about if a content piece was written over 3 months ago, that is not going to be a part of our content strategy. So now, how do we actually create the content strategy? This is step number 3. Your content strategy is going to consist of your skills, your expertise, your personal life. Now, the reason we call it a personal brand is because the personal aspect is what you need to focus on. Everyone can provide the same value around how to build a presence. Everyone can provide the same value around whatever your freaking niche is. That is not going to make you stand out. What makes you stand out is going to be your experiences, your opinions, and your stories. So how do we utilize these across a content strategy? Well, remember above when I said there's going to be 4 main content pillars? What are those pillars? One of those is going to be a technical pillar. That's totally fine. One of those is going to be an authority pillar. That's going to be based off of you leveraging case studies. One of them is going to be a story, and the other one is going to be off your life. So what do I mean by each of these? 25% of your content strategy is going to be based off of your technical content. A few years ago, you could get all of these people to buy from you and hire you because you're posting the best content in the game. But how many times can someone talk about the 6 steps to an abandoned cart flow, right? That's not going to win. Anyone can provide technical value. Next up is going to be authority value. Authority value is exactly what I have right over here. I have the biggest names in the entire space, from people working with Alex Hormozy, people doing hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, $500,000 on a monthly basis, all of these guys working with me. And I'm breaking down the process of how we made their content strategies. That's authority-based content. It is me leveraging case studies to create content that other people can learn from with the action steps. Action steps are very important. Then there's story-based content. This is going to be based off of something called the CEO's perspective, aka a business take. So the perspective of you, the founder, people aren't hiring a technical person. You're not a contractor that's like some quick freelancer or something. You're not some a glorified employee. You are a founder. You are building an actual business. People want to see the mind that you have. People want to know that they can trust you. So the business takes, aka the CEO, or the perspective of CEO, is all around one business lesson. You're going to take one lesson and you're going to wrap a story around it. For example, I went to a coffee shop, met a kid. He asked me about my Audi R8. He liked it. He asked me for some help, and I taught him a lesson. Then I took that same exact story and I'm going to make it into a lesson for my audience as well too, using that story. So that's the fourth pillar, or the third pillar. And then the last pillar is something that you're interested in. For example, I love wealth management. I love investments. I love building strong relationships with people. These are things I'm just naturally very excited to talk about, and I can provide my opinions around those for each of these individual pillars. Now, our entire content strategy for all 4 of the platforms, from our personal brands emails, our X account, our YouTube account, and our LinkedIn account, are going to be based off of this. Guys, in this video, I'm actually going to show you guys like word for word what you got to post on each day of the week based off your follower range. So be ready for that. So your content strategy is going to consist of your main skills and expertise. Like we just said, the goal is so freaking simple. It doesn't matter what you're using for your acquisition methods, whether it be paid, cold, or personal brand. What is your objective? What is it? It is trust. We need as many people as possible to trust us, and we need to connect with as many people as possible. That's why I love Twitter. That's why I love the personal brand route in general, because I can start running ads now because I have 150,000 followers across all my socials or more, and people trust me. I can target my audiences. I can reach out to people and say, hey, I'm Wisdom Ecom. I can close people faster because I've built that trust. That's what I'm going to help you do throughout this video. I'm going to make you into an authority. So you guys have to understand something. Remember, our content's not going to be optimized for views, likes, and engagement. Our goal is lead flow. But in order to get the lead flow, you do need some engagement pieces of content. So the funnel is super simple. We have a TOF, we have our MOF, and we have our BOF. My wife made me crack up. She's like, yo, I'm going to be naming our kids TOF, MOF, and BOF. I'm like, why? And because she's also a marketer. But the top of funnel, super simple. Get as many targeted followers as possible. Middle of funnel, super simple, is going to be nurture them. And then our bottom of funnel is going to be to convert them. How do we actually do this? There's specific content pieces based off of these content pillars that we're going to be using for each of these individual steps. And we're going to discuss each of them. So what are those individual content pieces? There's actually 18 of them. And those 18, I can show you guys all later in this video as well too. I have every single one here for you all. So step number 4 is a little bit boring, but it's so necessary, guys. Every single new profile that we bring onto our agency, we have to always audit it. What do we audit it for? It's a simple 3-step system. Step number 1 is their banner. Does their banner have their business name, one line about the outcome of their offer, and the big names that you've worked with, so some authority building? Number 2 is going to be the bio. The bio is going to be a personalized statement, the outcome you provide, and a call to action. Everything is built off that outcome. And I need you guys to understand this, because the outcome is what everyone needs to know that you provide. All your content is based off that outcome, that the content pillars come afterwards. And then last but not least is going to be our pin post. Pin post is like a master class of a course where it breaks on everything that you offer based off of your outcome, but with value. So if I was teaching you exactly what I'm doing in this video here, I can transcribe this, make this into an actual pin post for my content as well too. Simple. Step number 5 is interviewing yourself. So whenever we onboard any client, I'm going to interview them. And we're interviewing not for their technical content, and you guys should be interviewing yourselves as well too. The point of the interview is to understand your stories and fill up your entire content strategy. So the entire purpose of interviewing yourself is to create an insane amount of value and lessons for your ideal followers. You're going to use this interview to come up with dozens of content ideas that relate back to our overall content pillars, and of course back to our outcome. I'm going to keep on repeating these steps so you guys drill it in your mind. So here are the questions, literally the questions that I would interview you with if you were on my programs. These are word for word, exactly to a T, the questions that you need to be asking yourself. So what are some personal stories or anecdotes that you could share to be relevant to your business? Well, one of them could be about how I was creating a content strategy for a guy with 20 followers, and then he grew to 4,000 followers and he closed $200,000 worth of deals. His name was Brandon Ham. Here's how we did it. What are some successes your business had recently? Well, we hit a $200,000 month. How did we do that? How can I explain that transparently? What advice would you give other businesses that are just starting out? I would tell them to understand the content and acquisition ecosystem. I would teach them what a micro authority is. I'm answering these questions with 4 or 5 different answers each, and I'm going to use these for my content strategy. So please screenshot this and ask yourself these questions. You can comment them down below with your answers, and I can give you feedback for content ideas. So next up is actually getting into the nitty-gritty details of the content strategy. The content strategy is for individual days of the week. So we have our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. For each of these days of the week, we have to define something called a theme. So the theme would be based off of our overall outcome for our account. We can break that off into subtopics. So if my industry is helping people build their personal brands, my Monday theme would be importance of building a personal brand. My Tuesday would be how to create a content strategy. My Wednesday would be how to generate leads from X. My Thursday would be how to generate leads from YouTube. My Friday would be, all of these are just individual themes based off of my overall outcome that I'm providing. They're usually based off of the deliverables that you provide. And then my objective over here is to create questions called FAQs, frequently asked questions around that specific theme. So if my theme was micro authority, the questions my audience have is, why should I care what a micro authority is? How do I become a micro authority? How do I build my presence on X? How do I close my first deal from my personal brand? How do I scale to 6 figures a month with my personal brand? These are questions my audience has around that specific theme. My goal now is simple, and is to answer those questions with my content. And that is how I'm going to write my long forms, my threads, make videos like this, and write my value tweets. So at this point, we now know what our outcome is. We know what our pillars are. We know what our themes are. We're trying to understand how can we actually answer the FAQ. We're trying to figure out how we can answer the FAQs from the themes using specific content vehicles. So there are 18 different ways to write content. And our objective is, based off of these specific topics right over here that we created, is to answer the questions either as a tweet, as a mind map, lifestyle, etc. I'm not going to go into this one because I have an entire 30-minute training. Like, guys, every step here, I have a video for. Just go click the link in the description and you guys are going to be able to watch it. And it's going to walk you through every single stage of all the different types of content that you can be producing. So let's go into step number 8 now. Guys, this is a very intensive process. We do this for every single one of our clients. If you don't want to do this all yourself, you could just reach out to me. I've worked with over 380 different agency owners, founders, info product guys, people like Samuel Onuha, Ryan McKenzie, multi-8 and 9-figure guys. I will help you do it all. Just click the link in the description to apply. So step number 8 is figuring out a content strategy based off of your follower range. So if you have less than 500 followers, your content strategy will be different than mine. You cannot just go in and copy my content strategy because I've already built trust. Your objective is to understand where you are in the hierarchy initially and then build your presence up so people can start trusting you, and then you can switch your content strategy. So figuring out which content vehicle will help me based off my follower range. So if you have less than 500 followers, you're going to do video breakdowns, authority-based long forms, story-based long forms, and mind maps. 500 to 5K is video-based series, authorities, promotional, stories, and value tweets. And the 5,000 plus is going to be these ones right here with some custom funnels. If you need help on all of these, ask me a question in the description. I answer every freaking question, guys. Just ask me, and it's a huge resource for you. Step number 9 is going to be FAQs, which we have already done. Step number 10 is creating topics for each of those content vehicles. So if we now know that we have each of these individual pillars, we're going to have to come up with topics. So what are all of our technical topics? Let's figure out every FAQ that we have around the technicals based off of our daily themes. And now we're going to say, okay, here could be 6 long form posts to answer them. Here are 25 value tweet topics. Here are going to be 4 videos I can record around those technical ones. Then you repeat that for your authority, stories, and life ones as well too. Then from there, once you figure out the topics for each, now we can go ahead and start creating hooks. And I have a hook training that I'm going to be sharing with you all as well too. So right here is my hook training, right? So based off of every single one of the topics that we just created right here on this side of the screen, our goal now is to get people to stop scrolling at all costs, and you need a trigger an emotion to do this. I have a full hooks training for you all. If you guys want access to this, just go ahead and comment down below and I'll share the training with you as well too. Step number 12 is to be creating templates. So do you guys see all of these templates that I have on all of my other videos, like this Google document or my Miro videos? You need access to those types as well too. If you want access to mine, just click. If you want access to mine, just respond down below and I'll share my Miro boards and my mind maps with you. By the way, if you guys want this entire checklist, it's also in the link in the description. Now, step number 13 is getting case studies and testimonials from clients. I've noticed so many people struggle with this, and I never really understood why. If you have a great offer and you're delivering great results, you should be able to request from your clients for a specific case study, right? How do you do this? There's 4 main questions. What niche were you in? What problems were you facing? How did we come and solve those problems? What were the results? Those 4 pieces of information are going to give you enough for multiple content pieces. One is going to be a YouTube video just like this. One is going to be a long form post, one is going to be an email, one is going to be a normal value tweet, and one is going to be a mind map breakdown. 5 of those are your assets that you're going to be able to create around that specific case study of yours. Step number 14 is create a list of accounts we want to engage with religiously. So I'm going to break down the Twitter algorithm for you all right now. So the Twitter algorithm is all based off of the For You page, but written content. What other platform focuses on the For You page? TikTok. It does not matter if you have 1 million followers or if you have, let's say, 100 followers. On TikTok, you have the same potential for virality for any follower size. And that's what Twitter is turning into. The For You page is all that matters. When I tweet something today, even though I have 140,000 followers, I'm not going to be reaching all of them. I might reach, say, 2,000 people. Then Twitter's going to test out to see if these 2,000 people liked it. If they like it, they're going to show it to another 5,000 more, for example. My objective is to get Twitter to keep on showing it to more people. How do I do that? Well, to get on people's For You pages, it's all about engagement. So Twitter is obsessed right now with discussions. If we can figure out how to manipulate the algorithm to incentivize more discussions, more people are going to engage back with our account and we're going to show up on more For You pages. How do we do that? There's going to be people who comment on our account, and then there's going to be our account, and then there's going to be engaging with others, right? So our account, anyone who comments on our post that is verified, we are going to respond back to them with a question. And then anyone else on the timeline, we're going to create a list of 40 different accounts. You can literally just go to the Wiz of Ecom account, go to my following list, and start engaging with those people. And you want to respond for 15 minutes every day, but not repeating same garbage over and over again or like a fire emoji. I'm talking about genuine conversations and discussions. That's how you want to do it. Then there's the optimization. This is all cool, but the big money comes in from the optimization process. Optimization is super important. This is where 80% of your strategy will come across. This is where on a bi-weekly basis, so every 2 weeks, you're going to go into your account, you're going to find your top performing content, your least performing content, and the winning topics that you've had for your account, and you're going to list them all out. Your objective is to get rid of these. It is to reuse these top performing contents, and then it is to reuse all the winning topics, and then test out 3 new topics, and then 3 new topics on your account for this upcoming 2-week period. Your goal is to see which content pieces are constantly working, which topics are working, and it's to crown those as a winner. And those winners is what you're going to continuously be repeating. Once we have all this, we can now start expanding to YouTube. There's 3 different types of YouTube. There's case study videos, raw videos, and overall strategy breakdowns. This is an overall strategy breakdown. Case study would be the same thing, but a case study of someone's account. And then raw videos is me and you talking straight in front of the camera about a specific business perspective take. Then there's LinkedIn. LinkedIn is literally just taking your entire content strategy from Twitter, posting it on LinkedIn. My clients are closing 9-figure deals, like 9-figure clients from LinkedIn by repurposing their content. Now, guys, if you want my help, if you want me to handle your Twitter account, your YouTube, your LinkedIn, and your personal brand's emails, click the link in the description. We have mastered this art. This strategy keeps on changing. This is completely different from 2 months ago, and it will always change. We are the intelligence for you. We are running everything for you. We can do it all for you. We can help you do it, or you can do it yourself. We have you on every single part of your journey, whatever you need help with. If you want to generate leads from your personal brand, then let's go ahead and chat by clicking the link in the description. I'll see you guys in the next video.